Kia ora, namaste. My name's Raewyn Bhana, and I decided to use a different pedagogy. I do have a data show, but I thought I'd just kōrero. And what I want to kōrero about is engaging with Māori, and what I want to give is some examples of the organisation that I work for and what we've done with Māori that have been successful. So we had a contract with the Electoral Commission, and our role was to engage with 13,000 Māori over a 6-month period. And some of the strategies that our agency used was looking at working with Māori Women's Welfare League, looking at who's in our community and looking at working with who's in our community. So we actually met our target pretty quickly by engaging with Māori in the community and going to places where our community are. So we went to marae, we went to churches, we went to sports events, we went all over the place. And one of the things that I know from today is I've heard heaps of stuff about research and all the things about my community, but what I know from getting out there is that a lot of my community do want to vote, they just don't know what's going on. And I know that from the conversations that I've had with some of the nannies and the queer, they're very concerned. They're illiterate, some of them are illiterate, not all of them. I think one of the most satisfying hui that I went to was a group where we presented with a data show, a flip chart, me speaking and an interpreter so that we could reach all the people in the audience because of the disabilities. And that's something that I think we need to be looking at is that if we want to get to our communities, Māori for Māori, Pacific for Pacific. I'm part Indian and I go to the Good Wara, and I know that when I speak to my communities that I could get a lot more buy-in than what non could get. So I just want to say that being here today and listening has been really awesome, but I wanted to give some examples of some really grassroots stuff that we're doing out there that's really working. So we were in Raewyn Bhana at one event, there was 300 people there. I walked away with only 18 enrolments because everybody else was enrolled. They were all enrolled. The marae committee was so concerned about their community that they put me at the entrance so that as people parked for kapahaka to come into the marae, the next person they saw was me, because they said, you've got to get them, we want them enrolled. At the end of the kapahaka, they said, oh, how did you do? And I said, oh, I got 18. They said, oh, no. I said, no, it was great. They're enrolled. And so that was a real success. It was actually really successful for the marae. On our particular marae in my community, we have 500 people from babies to kaumātua and queer who come through each week just for kapahaka. That's just the kapahaka. So it's about getting into our communities and sending those who know our communities to go into our communities. Māori Women's Welfare League, I sent a representative to go on and talk about enrolling. I got a call from some of my fire saying, don't you dare send a non-Māori again. Send someone else and make sure they can speak Māori. I got a huge telling off. So I had to send, I went to myself with another colleague to the next meeting. So it's about knowing your audience and actually going in and having our own, speaking to our own. You get more mileage out of that. What do I want to wrap it up with is collaboration, like working with lots of our community. Recently, my boss said to me, Raewyn, you need 1,200 enrolments and you need them in 14 days for a specific project. I was thinking, 1,200 enrolments, 14 days. I got 1,007 and I got that 1,007 in 12 days. 8 of those forms were returned back because they weren't filled out correctly. I didn't meet the target, but I certainly worked hard with my team. How did we do it? I went to the Māori. Every Māori I went to enrolled. I got our Pacific people, every Pacific, oh no, not all, but it was about getting out to our community and working with our community. So I think that it's all about us, starting with us, getting into your communities and actually knowing who they are, knowing who your leaders are as well, so that you're working with them. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that. Kia ora.